The ages are expressed in geometric patterns. Now, what do I mean? The universe expresses itself in a 2,160-year phase as a certain zodiac sign that we call ages. So these ages have a means of expression to bring about the fullness of what an age is, which is also going to be the prevailing consciousness of man for that number of years. And it's why I titled this video The Astrological Connection of China and Africa. It's what I want to demonstrate here. This is the geometric aspect. So we have the trine, geometric aspect. It's not really that kind of trine. It's 120 degrees on all sides. You understand my point? And then there's a square. And then there's an opposition. These are the three main geometric expressions of an age. There's more, but these are the three major ones. Now, what do I mean? China is a Saturnian civilization. And what do I mean by that? Every tribe on the surface of the earth universally is grouped under a certain zodiac sign and the planet that rules it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, why do I say that Saturn is the energy of China, or China is a Saturnian civilization? There are so many things that China have done so far, even currently. You understand? That still puts them under that category. Now, Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. Long before Uranus was discovered, Saturn was ruling Capricorn and Aquarius. Saturn is community. China is a communist society. It's a communist economy. Saturn is honor and respect. You find this in the Chinese martial arts system, where honor and respect is the theme or the order of the day. These people are people that are so into structure and orderliness. Are you paying attention? Into structure and orderliness. They are a communist people. You understand me? Another thing that classifies them under this energy is the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China. To build that kind of massive wall could only be inspired by one thing. They were trying to enforce boundaries. It's what Capricorn, it's what Saturn is. Saturn is boundaries. Saturn is limitation. It is barricade. It is restriction. You understand? It is stringency. That is stringent, making stringent laws. China has very stringent laws. That's the acts of corruption are very, very, very minimal. But they are communist people. They are not like the Japanese. The Japanese are imperialists. They are invaders. They invade. So their energy will be Jupiter. You understand me? Now, people will say, what am I saying? If you recall one time, Oni of Ife said that the Igbos are of the energy of Obatala. They are an Obatala race of people, or they are the children of Obatala. That is the way it is said, are the children of Obatala. What is Obatala in Yoruba cosmology? Obatala is Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius and Pisces. This describes the Igbo people very well. Sagittarius, which Jupiter rules, is import and export. Yes, foreign trade, yes, import and export. And then Pisces will be spirituality. But the connection here, the spirituality more on a level of deities, masquerades. Yes, because what the masquerade they conceal, they hide themselves. These are things that are hidden. You only see an eternal expression. It's not very clear what is moving the very structure you're seeing. That is Pisces, the hidden. You understand my points? It's the hidden. There is more on this that I don't want to get into. But the Yorubas said that they are of the Saturnian civilization with the attributes of Oduduwa. But I doubt. I'm not saying this because of I hate Yoruba people. No, I'm looking at the very expressions of their energy. They can prove me wrong. You understand? But there's a goddess, the goddess Oshun is very popular in Yoruba pantheology, the pantheon of the gods in the pantheon of the gods, the lineup of the gods in Yoruba cosmology. Oshun is very, very popular for a specific reason. Oshun in astrology is Venus. Yoruba are Venusian people. Now, what do I mean? Venus rules Taurus and Venus rules Libra. Taurus is tribes. These people are very tribal people. Some people say that their tribalism is so much. That is the Yoruba people. They are Venusian energy. Yes. Libra is party. They love to party, merriment, and all that stuff. This is Yoruba people. I can go on, but I don't want this video to just be all about that stuff. That is not the purpose of me making this video. I want to walk you guys through the fact that every single tribe embodies an energy. If you look at the way that they express themselves, you will have a classification for them. But Venus is exalted in Pisces, and Yorubas are very known for spirituality. Very well. You find it in their movies a lot. You find it a lot in their movies. They are known for all of the spirituality and all of the many things that goes with it. You understand my point? That all of the things that goes with it, including treatment for all kinds of illness and other, which happens to be Pisces. Pisces is illness and the treatment that comes from all that stuff too. But this is their energy. You understand what I'm saying? This is their energy. In the Igbo aspect, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, so there's three classification of the energy. That is why people say that we spoil our women so much. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to know an Igbo man is rich, look at his wife. That's Cancer. That is the woman in his life, his mother, his wife, his sisters. You want to know an Igbo man's husband, look at these people in his life. You're going to see them. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Do you understand the expressions here? But that's not what I'm talking about now. I am talking about China and Africa. Why am I talking about China and Africa? Because we need to understand what is coming. There was a Saturn and Jupiter conjunction in 2020 in the sign of Aquarius. And this particular thing points to a lot of things, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to look at it in the sense of migration pattern. Jupiter is migration, Saturn is pattern. The migration pattern of a people. And it happened in Aquarius in the 8th house. Everybody has been jackbarring because Yoruba has been using the propaganda and advertising and all of the deception that comes with all that sort of promise of education, which is Jupiter. So everybody has been going to Canada. Everybody has been looking for a visa that allows them to go to school over there. All that stuff, the attention was being redirected towards that angle. Are you guys understanding? But our location for migration, our migration pattern location was completely off. Everybody wanted to escape. But the location should have been China. Yes, the location, if we still have time, you can start moving to China. The location should have been China. Not that place you guys are going to. That's what I want to tell you people. But that is one of the cycles. Now, this cycle also that happened in 2020 signaled one thing, that the whole movement of these two energies, this indicates the mannerism of this indicates a new global force that is coming into place. So whichever sign you find these things, whichever sign you find these two planets conjuncting every 20-year phases, and there's a bigger cycle of 60 years, there's a bigger cycle of 200 years. So we're expecting China to still be in power. Why? Because the last conjunction cycle happened in Aquarius. That signaled on a cosmic level that China is stepping in. That is why you see the West. The West is crumbling. They are using the media to hide face, to save face. But trust me, they are crumbling. China is rising. This indication has signaled that event. In the image of King Nebuchadnezzar, the feet that was crushed by a stone from nowhere. And then today we have bricks, which can also be said to be bricks, like stones, blocks, all that stuff. Saturn is bricks. Saturn is bricks. And I think in bricks, I think Russia is also a communist society. Am I wrong? Anyways, let's proceed. The edges express themselves in geometric pattern. So if Aquarius is rising, then Leo is setting. Now what do I mean? If Aquarius is China, obviously technology is what Aquarius is. China, tech. And I watched a video of Vusi. Vusi is a South African businessman, entrepreneur. He also coaches people too. Vusi was talking about how China is dominating in distribution and all that stuff. Saturn plus Jupiter synod cycle kicked off in Aquarius. That signals China's dominance in the distribution and manufacturing. But that is what this is. Another attribute that you find with China here is that when they want to build bridges, you hear stuff about China used 1,000 workers to build a bridge in 2 days. These people are builders. They are very strategic. Saturn is honor and respect, just like I said also, is what you find in these people. Orderliness, restriction, law and order. Orderliness, order. They don't indulge themselves in mediocrity. Now, when I say China is Aquarius, then who is Leo? Leo is ruled by the sun. Now let me ask you, which people are called the sun people? You have awakened, the African consciousness, African spirituality. We started to know things, the greatness of ancient Egypt. You understand me? The greatness of ancient Egypt. Oh, because ancient Kemet is Kemet, not Egypt. Reached its highest prominence in the age of Leo. Is what you people must understand. We are the sun people. We are the ones they call the sun people. So the continent of Africa reached its peak in the age of Leo. But now the opposite of it is rising. Just like the way the sun rises on the east and then sets in the west. Whichever sign the sun is in when it's rising, the sign that opposes that sign is what is setting. So now that Aquarius, the age of Aquarius is rising. On the balance, this is geometric balance of how the universe works. On the balance, sitting on the balance is Leo. Leo is Africa. So when I say Aquarius is rising, Leo is setting. This is the balance. You understand my point? So Africa is the balance. And you already notice. And the balance, the 7th place of a place is where marriage happens. Chinese are already marrying our women. And our men are marrying their daughters. You guys understanding what's going on here? Chinese are marrying our women. And our men are marrying their daughters. You guys understand what is going on here? Because this is the balance. It's happening. It's happening. Right? It's happening. So, another thing I want to explain to you guys here is how the age of Pisces was expressed. How the age of Pisces was expressed. But first, Aquarius is China, which is the technology. And we'll find that, mainly general source of power and all that stuff is coming from solar energy and all that stuff. This is the age. Like I said, it works in geometric pattern. It's just like we are looking, Taurus is in the 4th place of Aquarius. And then Scorpio, you understand, it's in the 10th place. So this is another geometric pattern which actually forms a square. You understand what I'm saying? Which actually forms a square. So we're expecting China coming into world power. China has dominated the banking sector, in case you do not know, because the way the banking sector is going to be operated is based on the dictate of what the energy points to, which is the energy of technology. So we are talking about fintechs. China has already dominated the fintech sector. Yes. In case you don't know, they've dominated the fintech sector. So this square, so there's a trine, there's a square, and then there's an opposition. This is how the 3 major expressions of the ages. I've given you people the trine. Africa is Leo. We are the sun people. We are the ones that are needed to balance the age of Aquarius for the Chinese because they are the ones coming into power. Leo is autonomy. The only way for China to express a cosmic balance for their own to thrive, you understand what I'm saying, is to ensure that Africa attains autonomy. However it is that they are going to do it, it's not because they like us. They need their own sign, their own cycle in time to thrive. After China goes, the next people we are looking to step into this whole energy has to be India. But that's a topic for another day. That's a topic for another day because India and China are really, really, really on it. They are really on it. But these guys are in bricks. These guys are in bricks. They are the ones that smash the feet of clay. I will get to that. You guys should relax. I'll get to that. But this is the energy. They've dominated. Scorpio is resources, including resources that you excavate from the ground. How China is going about that yet is not very clear to us. You understand? But Scorpio is also evolution and transformation. So the very energy that is needed to transform the world right now is going to be coming from China, not the West. Yes, it's going to be coming from China. They've taken over the banking sector in the fintech sense. They are trying to balance out the energy on the African side of things so that they can thrive. Now, this is on that level. On the trine level, I've drawn out the opposition and the square for you guys. Now, on the trine level, this is how the trine works, of the ages work. So if this is Aquarius in the first place, and then Leo is not going to be here. In the 5th and in the 9th place. So Gemini is the 5th place of Aquarius, and then Libra. So this is a trine. Are you guys seeing what I'm doing here? I draw out a triangle just now. I draw out a triangle just now. All those inner what is it called? So I don't want to mess in cycle, so you guys can see the triangle properly. So Aquarius is here, and the 5th place, this is 1st place, the 9th place, the 5th place. So Gemini is here, and then Libra is here. So this is a triangle. You guys see? This is another expression of the age. So China is going to be taking over the global political scene very soon, which is what Libra is. Which is what Libra is. Libra is politics. Yes, Libra is politics. And then Gemini, media, where TikTok is slowly become people's favorite. There are other aspects of the media too that China is likely going to take over. I saw on the news today where it said WhatsApp wants to scrap numbers and wants to start using usernames. I don't know why they are doing that, but when people start to move like this, something is cooking in the background. Let's not be surprised if China comes in with a very sound social media that people are going to rush into. That people will rush into, and Facebook won't be the same. Facebook will no longer be the same. All of these American-based platforms, you're going to find it difficult. Facebook itself has already had issues, court cases in the past of selling people's information. People are already looking for alternatives. I mean, he created threads. That should even ask you, maybe he knows, because they have the astrologers, maybe he knows that Facebook will not be around for long. I mean, he's even talking about meta. I think he has been told that Facebook is going to hit a point of no return very soon. So he's coming up with contingencies. He's following through with it. You understand my point? So this is the way that this is going. They are going to take over the media. There's going to be dominance in the media from the Chinese. Yes, very soon. They are going to see all of this. Also in political places in political affairs. You understand me? In political affairs too. Also, another thing that they are likely going to be doing here is places where they intend to conquer. And I don't mean conquest in the form of invasion, but like to keep things in check. They are actually going to be pushing, their people are actually going to be getting married. In Africa, they're already marrying Africans. They are getting married to Africans already. So there's a mix of that blood. So, some people that have said this thing in the past, I'm seeing it here. This is marriage. Libra is marriage. They're already governing the tech sector. It's stamped. That's Aquarius. Aquarius is technology. Anything tech. It's Aquarius. It's technology. So Gemini is the communication, is the communication sector, is the media. You understand? And then Libra, it's the government, it's marriage, it's relationships. Don't be surprised when the Chinese open up, or allow their people to go and visit other countries, because Libra is in the 9th place. Okay. Makes sense, because the 9th is invasion. But I'm not calling them invaders because they are communists. But if there's going to be a method of invasion the way we know it is taking over colonialism. But this kind of invasion is not the colonialism type. It's not to colonize. No. This kind of imperialism or invasion is our men should marry their women. And they give birth to mixed race. Chinese mom, Nigerian father. Chinese father, Nigerian mom. So when we eventually our plans begin to mature, they will not know how to get rid of us because we're already one of them. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, something like that. So now, why am I breaking down this thing like this? I want you guys to pay attention. In the age of Pisces, something happened. This is the way it happened in the age of Pisces. Pisces as Virgo in the opposition, as Gemini in the 4th, and then as Sagittarius in the 5th. These are what all mutable signs, just like I did in Aquarius. You notice that all of the signs are fixed signs. For the square, that's when I paste Aquarius here, Taurus here, Leo here, and then Scorpio in the 10th, right? So the age of Aquarius was the age of religion. When the age of Aquarius, the age of Pisces was the age of religion. And what do I mean? For that energy to balance, they needed an opposition energy. The opposition was a Virgo type energy. What's Virgo? Virgo is work. Virgo is labor. Virgo is cotton. Virgo is fabrics. Virgo is cotton that you pick and they process it and they make clothes and fabrics from it. That's Virgo. Virgo is slavery. And this was the very energy that the religious empire needed to balance the scale. Slavery was needed for the religious empire to thrive. This is what you people need to understand. Yes, this is on how they balance the energy on the opposition side. Are you understanding what I'm saying? They had a trine and they had a square, and I will come to this. But this is what they did. They needed to enslave this part of the world. So that this is the cosmic balance. So when I tell you people that these people are going to one way or the other find way for Africa to have autonomy, yes, it is not because they like us. They need us to be free from the West, so that we can be on a level that creates the energy for them, that creates the energy that, because we are sitting on the balance. That's why I said as Aquarius is rising, Pisces, Aquarius is rising, Leo is setting. So they need that energy. They need us to be at a certain level so that their own can thrive. This is how cosmic law works. This is how cosmic law works. You don't need to believe me. Give it a couple of years. You will come back and tell me whether I'm making sense or not. This is how it works. And I'm showing you here what happened in the age of Pisces. The sheep sheep is Sagittarius. The sheep that was said to carry slaves. There's one story about the ship carrying slave. The title, the name of the ship was called Jesus. I think they say it was the biggest slave ship then. The religious empire needed slavery to thrive. They did everything they could do to the indigenous people. This was the only place they could enslave. They could not enslave their own people. There was no benefit in enslaving their own people, so they had to come here. So this is where the balance needed to be exerted. That energy, you understand, of slavery needed to be expressed in, so that the religious empire can thrive. And this is on the opposition scale of balance. That is what they had to do. Now, on the square level, are you seeing? It's a mutable science. I just draw out a square for you people to see. Pisces is religion. A square is a binding energy. A square is 90 degrees. So 90 degrees into 4 gives you 360 degrees. It's a full cycle. Don't get me confused. It's a full cycle. But the way the energy is expressed is a 90 degrees aspect. It's in a 90 degrees, expression. So it's a binding energy. Saturn rules the square aspect. Saturn is the ruler of the square aspect. Saturn is binding. You understand? And the number for Saturn in astrology is 27. You understand? 27 is 2 plus 7. Gives you 9. 90 degrees is what? You basically just take out the 0. You get 9. That's Saturn. That's Saturn. You understand? So this is what they did. Now, how was this binding energy used to bind us? Religion, 1, that's Pisces. Education, colonialism, imperialism, propaganda, the media. You understand what I'm saying? Indoctrination. That is what Sagittarius is. Pisces is what? Sickness. They were producing all kind of virus. Pisces is viruses, is sicknesses. You understand what I'm saying? All kind of ailments, breakouts. Yeah? This pandemic, that pandemic is Pisces. All that kind of stuff. All this, this thing, cholera, this, all the heartbreak of all of these things. And they were using it to make serious money. Religion too, we had all these gatekeepers that were opening big churches that were thriving. This was what to use to keep us on lockdown. Pisces is prison. The age of Pisces is why some people that are overly woke, that do not understand the symbolism of it, say that we are in a prison matrix, because that was Pisces, that was the age of Pisces. Or it still feels like that because the vernal point, which is used to measure the rate of man's consciousness on a collective base, is still in Pisces, although it's coming out of Pisces towards around 4 degrees or 3 degrees, because the age starts from 29 degrees and they move. This is the astrology I didn't want to bring in, because you people will not understand what I'm saying. But get my point. The very cosmic measurement that is used to measure man's consciousness is still in Pisces. But the age itself is Aquarius. We are in Aquarius. So we are going to need a couple of 100 and something years to pull out completely out of the age, for the man's consciousness to come out of the age of Pisces. So we are in the age of Aquarius. You find a lot of explosives, which is what Aquarius is. Technology is being invented, invention, and all of that thing, which still brings me to what China points to, which I said Saturn rules Aquarius. These people have invention people. These people invent a lot of things. They are innovative. This them, but back to the stuff here. Aquarius is invention, aircraft, plane, all of that stuff is all things that fly. Technology that is used to drones, all that stuff is Aquarius. We are in the age of Aquarius. Man's consciousness is still in Pisces. Is why people still love going to club. Pisces is nightclubs. People love going to church. People still want to worship. People still want to pray to something. Pisces is prayer. It is religion. It is spirituality. It is charity. It is prison. It is in the age of Pisces we started to have prison. If you do your research, you see before the white man came on, we didn't have a way to punish criminals, because we didn't have a prison where we keep criminals. There was a different kind of punishment method that was used. Pisces was the age where prisons were created. That's why it felt like a prison. People say when a prison matrix, well, our consciousness, the very rate we measure man's consciousness, let me not say our consciousness, is in the age of Pisces, but the heliacal point is in the sign of Aquarius. So the sign of Pisces is where the heliacal point is. The sign of Aquarius is where the sign of Pisces is where the vernal point is. The sign of Aquarius is where the heliacal point is. So you're thinking of it as like a snake that has a tail. So its head is already in Aquarius. Its tail is still in Pisces, but it has not completely gone out of Pisces. So the expression is coming from these two. You understand what I'm saying? It's coming from these two. Hence why it's the way it is. People are still going to church like, Aquarius is revelation, it's realization, it's awakening. People are awakening, yes, but there are people that are still going to church. You understand what I'm saying? Aquarius is rebellion. You find a lot of protests blowing up every corner. We're in the age of Aquarius. That is the biggest indication you need to know. The technology is spreading so fast. You understand my point? It's rapidly it wants to change everything. Aquarius is metropolis, so don't be surprised when the entire world, loses all of its all these traditional style of building homes from huts, and thus eventually everything transformed. I'm not saying we are not going to have forest and jungle, because it's impossible. We are going to still have those things, because Taurus is forest, is jungle. Taurus is a fixed sign. It's going nowhere. In fact, I just drew it here. The age of Aquarius still connects to Taurus. So yes, forest, all that stuff is still going to be around, very, very much around. That's not what I'm saying. I'm going to see the house patterns is going to change. So the world is likely going to terraform or completely change into a metropolis. It's what the entire world is going to be. You understand? It's cyber or is it cyber, a computer metropolis, or what is it? A technological metropolis. You don't know what I'm saying, right? So I was talking about the square of the age of Pisces and how the signs in the same modalities of Pisces that Pisces falls in are expressed. This is colonialism, indoctrination, imperialism, invasion. This is dogma. This is religion. This is media. This is propaganda. It's also Sagittarius. Pisces, like I said, is illness, is virus, is pandemics. Sagittarius is outbreaks, but Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces. So outbreaks of cholera, all of that stuff, and they want to use what they're using to attack your health. Virgo. And Virgo here is your 9-to-5 slavery system, right? People are saying I'm sweating. I'm dropping knowledge for people. People should subscribe, follow my content, so I get monetized, so I'll buy AC, so I'll be giving you people, back-to-back content like this. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so Virgo is, in fact, Virgo and Pisces are both in the health sectors combined. Yes. So where Virgo is herbs and herbology, Pisces is orthodox. This is why you see the orthodox sector thrive so much. So the indigenous herbal system was pushed back. And because Pisces was rising, Virgo was setting. So herbs was not the thing. It was the orthodox medication system that was thriving so much. That's what Pisces is. But Virgo is slavery, your 9-to-5 job, any kind of work job you do that you earn salary from, they go on. When they say that 9-to-5 is a slavery system, you work more than you are paid for. This is corporate slavery. It's what Virgo is. It's the slavery system, the civil service, all that corporate, the bureaucracy, all that. Okay, bureaucracy is Gemini, which is still in the same modality of Pisces, so it's still connected. Gemini is the media. Gemini is newspapers. Gemini is magazines, right? You find all of these tools were used. Gemini is information. And because these are mutable signs, they are signs that can be used to deceive. You understand what I'm saying? They are signs that can be used to deceive. Gemini is information, so the misinformation is still Gemini. It's still Gemini. Through the news reporters, Gemini. The news, Gemini. Media, Gemini. As much as this one too is media. But this media points to advertising and broadcasting on a larger scale. It's what Sagittarius is, but Gemini is the media too. Newspapers, news reporters, presenters, all these people. All these people is what the world is changing to. It's what the age of Pisces was used to magnet everybody, to keep everybody on lockdown. So we are moving between these four. You go to church, you go to school, you go to hospital for checkup, you listen to news. Your life is not making any sense. Your life is not making any single sense. So I just remember something now. I was talking about the age of Aquarius in the trine aspect, right? I was talking about it in the trine aspect. And it just occurred to me that the sign of Gemini, because Gemini is also in the trine aspect. You understand? So basically, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. So this is the trine. Gemini is podcast. So often see the decentralization, because I have to understand Aquarius is decentralization. So every single thing that is a central figure in the world now is going to be dismantled. In fact, Pluto is currently in Aquarius. You know what that means? Anything that is not decentralized is going down. Anything that is not decentralized is going down. Going down, 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 down. From the financial system, everything. Uranus is currently going retrograde. If it goes into Taurus, I've been telling you people this. I don't think the fiat system is going to survive. I don't think, you guys, I'm telling you this. I don't think the fiat system, that is this paper money system and all that. That's just me putting it simple, right? It's not going to survive. Move your money, all these, OPay. Move your money to OPay. Move your money to Kuda. Move your money to PalmPay. Move your money to MoneyPoint. These are fintechs. So in this method of communication, because that's what Gemini is, it's going to be decentralized form, which is podcast. Podcast is decentralized media, in case you don't know. Yes. Podcasts are decentralized medias. Yes. You know? So I was explaining something. So back to the age of Pisces. So you understand what I'm saying. You see that I'm not bullshitting. You see that I'm not bullshitting. So we have Pisces. Now I'm going to talk about the trine of how the age of Pisces was expressed, so you people will see something. And then in the 5th place of Pisces is Cancer. And then in the 9th place is Scorpio. So this is the 1st place. So you see? That's a trine. So Pisces being the primary energy. And then Cancer, which follows. And then Scorpio. Pisces is Christianity. Cancer is ruled by the moon, which is Islam. Scorpio is Judaism. Scorpio is fornication. It's murder, it's killing. It's adultery. It's sex. Any kind of sex at all, whether prostitution, any kind of sex is Scorpio. Judaism is the religion that says if you're caught in adultery, you're stoned to death. That's Scorpio. So this is the way that the religious empire expressed the trine. The trine is not a binding energy. So although they used war and slavery to enforce religion, and I will get to that. But after that first phase of it, that was final. The ease of people accepting religion was just on autopilot. It was just on autopilot. People were just accepting it. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. Oh, Allah. This, all that stuff. People were taking in that stuff. You see, and in Judaism, they believe in Abraham so much. This is how that was expressed. You understand what I'm saying? Now, another thing I want you guys to think of here is when I say, although the energy, right, energy of religion was enforced through war. Now recall the image that King Nebuchadnezzar saw in his dream. It had an head of gold. It had a chest, an upper chest of, or this upper side of the chest rather, of silver. Then going down, bronze, and then there's iron, and then there's clay, the feet of clay. The feet of clay and iron. But the two legs of iron is Mars. That's the Roman Empire. That's a warring empire. Rome came to power. Rome became world power through military conquest. Western and Eastern Rome. That's what the two legs of King Nebuchadnezzar, that is the legs of iron represented. But Rome fell. Rome fell, and then the feet was now the last empire to be world power. That is the current religious empire. So the Pope became, the Emperor. Rome transitioned after its fall. It transitioned from a republic into a religious empire, or more like a republic, or political empire to a religious empire. So the Emperor became the Pope. The Emperor became the Pope. Are you paying attention? The fifth is the religious empire. And the fifth, if you watch my video of the video titled The Astrology of the Human Anatomy, it's right there, here on my channel. You will see where I said that Pisces rules the fifth. Pisces rules the fifth. The fifth of that image is said to have a mix of iron and clay. Iron is Mars. Clay is Virgo. Clay is Virgo. It's what the potter uses to make pots, make vase, all kind of stuff that clay is used to mold. That you can use a clay to bend into shape and mold, because Virgo is a mutable sign. So it's flexible. You can turn it clay. You can turn it. You can make anything with it. That was the weaker half of the part of Rome that fell. When a thing falls, not all parts are always intact. Some will have a bit of scratch, but they are still strong, while some just crumble. So we had Rome. Rome fell and gave birth to what we have called Italy today. Or people say Italy, but the people that have the language says Italy. We can't argue with them. So we have Italy, we have Spain, we have France, we have Britain, we have Luxembourg, if I'm not mistaken. We have Portugal, and we have some other ones too. All those countries you see that their names appeared in the scramble for Africa. You understand? Those countries you see, we have Francophone countries, we have Anglophone countries, and we have those countries that scrambled for Africa. Those were the strongest pillars of the broken, those were the strong parts of the broken or the fallen Roman Empire. Yes. So that is why he said the feet of the image had partly iron and partly clay. Iron is Mars, clay is Virgo. The feet is Pisces, telling you that is a religious empire. All these things you people are worrying about, people that worship America so much, think that America is so great it cannot fall. America is currently falling. America is currently falling. You people don't have any idea. Then suddenly a stone appeared from nowhere and crushed the feet. This is the stone. But Saturn is currently in Pisces now. That all of these things is happening. It went into Aries and retrograded back into Pisces. It's currently in Pisces. Now this, in case people are wondering. And what is the biggest tool of mass mind control or mass propaganda or mass indoctrination of the West? It's Pisces. What is Pisces? The movie industry. There is nothing that is as powerful for the West as their movie industry. It's not their weapon. This is, you guys don't understand the amount of programming that is instilled in Hollywood movies. You guys don't understand. I don't think you guys know. Saturn is currently in Pisces. Did you see what Elon Musk did with just a tweet? You saw how much Netflix lost. It's going. And at the same time, somewhere in Japan, the Demon Slayer animation is currently trending. It's almost on every theater now, almost on every cinema now. People are watching it. It's coming. So, one is right. You have to understand, Saturn is building. Saturn is demolition. Saturn is development. Saturn is deconstruction, is destruction. Saturn is the energy that tears something down and builds it back up at a higher level. So the whole concept of the movie industry, it is taking down the Hollywood side of what movie represents, and it's raising the Japanese side up. You understand what I'm saying? Saturn is currently in Pisces. In case you people are wondering what is going on, I'm explaining it here for you astrologically. It is happening in the stars. You are letting them gaslight you. If you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. We are not book people. We are stargazers. Let me tell you now. We are not book people. Yes, we used to read the stars. You don't know? The feet that was mixed with iron and clay. The feet is Pisces. Mixed with iron and clay. Virgo is slaves. Slavery. Mars is war. War and slavery is what the religious empire used to gain power. Don't you understand? This is the symbolism of what you find in the Bible that you cannot find people every day that will explain it for you. So, as Aquarius is rising, Leo, I just want to walk you guys through this thing so you understand what I mean when I say as Aquarius is rising, Leo is setting. Don't forget, Leo is autonomy. And who is Leo? We are the sun people. Don't mind the yellow I'm putting on, but Leo is the color of Leo is orange, yellow, all that stuff, you know. That's the color of the sun. So, as Leo is rising, as Aquarius is rising, Leo is setting. You know, the word setting sounds like setting. Setting sounds like setting. So Africa is setting to attain autonomy. Don't mind me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying now. Set, rise. Set, rise. As Aquarius is rising, Leo is setting. This is the balance. Africa isn't going to shine very bright, but we are going to be raised up to a certain level so that we can balance China. This is the astrological symbolism of what is happening, of the connection between Africa and China. I'll see you guys in another video.